it's pretty much like winning his first major all over again. He's been 10 years removed from winning a major championship. So, the nerves around it, the pressure around it, just amazing stuff to see. Kind of cool how that worked out. Welcome back to the Anything Flies podcast. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about the U.S. Open. It was a great major, another fantastic major in the books. I'm Houston, and I'm here with...
I'm Roy Lindholm.
And Harrison, back again. It's been a little bit, but I'm here.
So I'll just kick it off. I want to mention three guys, the big two, and then Ludwig Oberg. To start with Ludwig, another great, promising major championship for him. He had the 36-hole lead, and then unfortunately never really did much other than that. There's a lot of pressure around having a 36-hole lead in your first U.S. Open. However, this isn't really that bad of a major for him. It's actually very promising. He's had a super, super strong season so far. He's done phenomenal in all the majors, or most of all the majors. He got second in the Masters. He did miss the cut at PGA, but he got 12th at the U.S. Open after after being in first through 36 holes. So for Ludwig, not much to complain about. Another guy to look out for at Royal Troon, which is the open course for you dweebs. So, he's continuing to put himself in the situation. He's just got to get his feet under himself. He's a rookie. Not much more you can expect from him other than to be in the positions he's at. So that's all I got for Ludwig.
Yeah. One, I want to talk about Bryson and Rory and Ludwig as well. But one guy I also want to mention is Patrick Cantlay. Just really happy that he did not win after the first day. I was really worried. So I think that's at least a positive that we can take out of the U.S. Open.
Are you not a fan of him because he takes so long, or what?
He's just a boring guy. There's nothing exciting about him on the course, and he just contributes negatively. Like, if he would have gone to live, I would have been happy. But they didn't even want him. They didn't even make him an offer. So
I think he actually makes the broadcast worse. I'd rather watch commercial than watch his 30-second tee shot.
I'd much rather just, like, when they're doing like the NBC playing through, I'd much rather just see the commercial like on the full screen than have him on the side there. He's taken away from it.
I just get mad whenever he like licks his lips. Like, you know how he always goes like this? Like,
yeah.
He always has his tongue out, and it's just like, dude, just hit the putt and move on. Like, he takes a minute over the ball, and personally, I don't know how he's not uncomfortable when he's putting. Like, if I'd be standing over a putt that long, I'd be like thinking, oh no, if I miss this, here goes the lead, and shaking. But yeah, I don't like him either.
Yeah, I don't want to continue talking about him, I don't want to give him too much broadcast time here. But one thing I want to mention that really made me mad at him this weekend is I work at a golf course, and so I'm sitting there in like our little hut, and some members come up, and we're supposed to wash their clubs, but Patrick Cantlay is about to hit a putt. And so I'm like, all right, I'm just going to watch this putt and then go clean their clubs. Well, Patrick Cantlay takes 2 minutes over every single putt. So really these members, I just didn't watch their clubs. I had to sit there and watch Patrick Cantlay putt. So that's just another reason to be mad at him.
All right, let's move on from Patrick Cantlay here. Let's move on to Rory McIlroy. I guess I'll just take it away. So I can't emphasize this enough. He is so close to winning his next major. At this point for him, it's pretty much like winning his first major all over again. He's been 10 years removed from winning a major championship. So, the nerves around it, the pressure around it, it's like a 5-year PGA Tour player trying to get his first major. Like, it's unfamiliar territory for him at this point because he's been so far from it. But anyway, I think it's promising because he got off to a good start at the PGA but stumbled during the weekend. Then he finds himself this week in the mix, and he came up just a bit short, which is unfortunate for him. The putting got to him. But the stretch from 6 to 14, he was, I think, 4 under on Sunday. And that was some of the best golf we've seen from him in probably the last 10 years. That was vintage Rory. And if he keeps playing at that level, Rory has multiple more majors to win. And the bad thing about this is that everyone's going to say it's putting. Even me, I just said that it was his putting that got to him. But if you look at the stats, it's not. He was 8th strokes gained in the putting or in putting versus the field, and he had 27 putts in round 4, which was 4th in the field. He would have had 25 if he didn't miss those 2 short ones coming down the stretch, but 27, like as a golfer myself, if you have 27 putts in a day, you're close to even. So that's just phenomenal. And then the real problem he had was his approach shots. He was 69th in the field based off strokes gains to approach, and he only hit 10 greens on Sunday. Thankfully, his chipping was above par that day, but he needs to just put it behind himself. He needs to put this whole week behind himself, good and bad, and just move on. Not let this affect him because, like many people before, when they choke a major championship lead, it affects them. And if he wants to continue to win championships and tournaments, he can't let this affect him. So he's just got to move on. And I would say he's a name to look out for in a month at Royal Troon.
Yeah, but you got to remember that 10 greens at Pinehurst isn't that bad. I mean,
that's true.
It's not 10 greens at your local muni. Like it's different out there. I don't know how that ranks against the field, but I would guess that that's about average, if not a little bit above.
Yeah, it's average.
I think for Rory, it's really hard to win his next major because it's been 10 years and all they do is talk about how he's going to win his next one. It's kind of like overhyped at this point. And so it's like for him, it's almost double the pressure, triple the pressure, where for your average guy, they're just kind of going out there and playing golf. It's just a little bit more important for them. And then I think just because of that, like the nerves got to him on 16 and 18. He just missed like those 2 putts. Other than that, I mean, he basically won that tournament with ease. And, I mean, he would have won by like 2 shots, maybe 1. And then one other thing I saw was when he was on 18, Bryson was on 17, and you can see from like that hole, he was on 18T watching Bryson. Bryson hit a iron into that par 3 and like was walking it off, and like Rory just stared him down, and he must have just got intimidated because he yanked that next tee shot. Like I think he just needs to stay a little bit more into his own game because it kind of set him up for failure on that last hole.
Yeah, he wasn't like going out there playing fearlessly, like in golf, like saying terms like dominate or whatever. It's kind of different because you're not like fighting somebody, but Bryson was just out there just to play the best golf that he possibly could. Rory was out there to just kind of try to, after 14, I guess 15 and on, he was really just trying to maintain. And when you're not trying to win, it's over. You know what I mean? It's when everything just falls apart. That's when the wheels fell off. And it was really sad to see, to be honest.
Yeah. So let's move on to Bryson. I've been talking a lot. You guys take it away.
Yeah. After he made that par on the 8th hole where he hits his drive far right, into the whatever, the multiple different kinds of weeds out there.
The straw grass.
So, yeah, he hits his drive far right, and then he pulls his iron long and left of the green. It wasn't a bad shot, but still long and left of the green. But then he hits a good chip to like 12 feet and makes a putt. And from then on out, I just felt like he was feeling good about himself. Even though that second 9, he didn't hold the lead the whole time, and he even made some bogeys. He just seemed confident in his game. And I think that that's part of it, is that Bryson's game, he always has something to fall back on. Whereas Rory, it's more of a feel. If he has the good feel, then he can fall back on that. But with Bryson, like the numbers that he relies on are reliable. And so he can always fall back on those. And I think that'll really help you in a major championship when you have to think so much already. Even though he's thinking a lot, it almost gives him one less thing to think about and make decisions on, because he can just rely on what his numbers are telling him, like for putting and such.
Yeah, I think that was also like his scrambling on that back 9 was it was insane. I think that's what won him it, because I think Rory took the lead when he was basically making the turn, and he didn't get the lead back until he was in 18 left, whatever that was. And so I just think it kind of shows to his resilience. I think he deserved to win that. And just congrats to him, I guess. That's all.
Yeah, he definitely earned it. I mean, he wasn't using his driver that he used the entire tournament on Sunday, because he flattened the face of the driver on Sunday morning range sesh. And so for him to go out and still win the tournament, he drove the ball terribly. For on his own standards, I think he hit like 5 fairways. So for him to go out and win that means that he really wanted it. He was going to give it everything he had, even if it wasn't all working, which is important, and that's a sign of a great player.
I've got one more thing, and then we're going to close it up. So he didn't really do anything special. He did what he had to do to win the U.S. Open, and you need to do to win the U.S. Open is to scramble, and he did that perfectly. He missed 7 greens and only had 3 bogeys, 2 of which were because he didn't get up and down, but 1 was because he missed a 5-foot putt. He got up and down 5 out of 7 times, which is phenomenal around Pinehurst. And then last thing, just an amazing week for Bryson. I'm going to throw this back into the history books a little bit. Bryson played golf at SMU, and he won at Pinehurst number 2, 25 years after Payne Stewart died, or Payne Stewart won. And Payne Stewart was also an SMU guy, and he is also the idol of Bryson. He wore hats like Payne, and he also has a ball marker of Payne Stewart on the back of his hat. So just amazing stuff to see. Kind of cool how that worked out. But that's all we got for you guys. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure you guys subscribe, follow our socials at Anything Flies on Instagram, YouTube, or Instagram, TikTok, and Spotify. And we'll see you next time.